This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night.
Oh yes, it is.
Right?
Right.
Okay. As tired as we are, we should be going.
Yeah. And apologies for what happened on Friday. Technical difficulties. A lot was going on. So today is a brand new day, brand new drama series brought to you by the court over there, the High Court in Pretoria. A lot is going on in that trial. A lot. Well, hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another deliberation of the Senzo Meyiwa trial. You saw the shenanigans, you guys. Need I say more? Need I say more? A lot is going on today, but let me quickly go over it with you guys. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, please don't forget to hit that like button. And also share the video with everyone else who you think will be interested in the case or who is currently interested in the case. Because you never know who is and who isn't, you know. And also you can also like the video, and if you want to join the membership, you can also do that as well. So Sergeant Moani was cross-examined. Now remember, his cross-examination stood down previously to allow for testimony of the car tracker expert. There was a time Moani was under cross-examination and it had to pause. Advocate Mnisi was the one just about to cross-examine him, and it had to pause because there was new evidence coming from Dupree, right? So Dupree was the one who stood in the place of Moani, continuing with his cross-examination. So today they carried over from Moani where he left off. So Advocate Charles Mnisi, this time around for accused number 3, he said that he would rather not cross-examine. After having listened to the car expert, Michael Dupree, he said, I have no further questions. So Advocate Zitulele Nxumalo for accused number 4 also didn't have questions. Now, Bakwenda Munyeki, who is standing in for Advocate Zandile Mshololo, cross-examined, and he started off by asking, you traveled on the 18th of June 2020 to Carltonville, and Moani said yes. You left Pretoria Police Station at 11 minutes past 8, and Moani said, I don't recall the time. And Munyeki asked, we know you arrived at 10:25, and Moani said, I recall arriving at Carltonville, but I don't recall the time. Munyeki asked, we also know you remained in Sibanye mine for about 7 hours, and Moani said it could be around those hours. Munyeki then asked, and on your return to Pretoria, you first stopped at an engine garage, and Moani said, I do recall it was in Alberton. And Munyeki said, and you remained at the engine garage from 1853 until the next morning. And Moani said, yes. Well, Munyeki said, can you remind the court from that 1853 until midnight what was happening? And Moani said, we had a problem with our vehicle. So he's sticking to his story. He's sticking to his story.
What story is he sticking to, guys? Was I hearing things?
The vehicle breaking down, and there was push, and then a mechanic came, and then he's sticking to his story. He's not changing it.
What story changed? What story is he sticking to? This guy, if I remember very well, he said the car had a problem for 30-something minutes.
And then he came back again and said 5 hours under re-examination with Advocate Baloyi. He said it was like that for 5 hours. And they called a mechanic. I can remember we questioned the 30 minutes. And then with re-examination,
and then he corrected himself.
It stretched, honey, from 30 minutes to 5 hours.
Can you imagine if there are no people who are following this case? This was in closed door.
In a closed court. Yeah, they would be convicted by now. They'd be guilty 25 to life.
Because, I mean, these people can just lie and then come and correct
I'm
themselves.
actually scared. You know, you need to have your tracks. I don't know. Get the best lawyer you possibly know of.
Because
as soon
according
as
to the first
possible.
version, they moved
Yeah.
after 35 or 37 minutes. They moved on.
Yes, they moved.
That's the first version.
That's the first version. And then under re-examination, after he was cross-examined, on re-examination with the state, he decided those 5 hours, the 30 minutes, I'm stretching them to 5 hours. Those whole 5 hours accommodated all of those activities. The pushing and pull. How come he's the only one, though, who
And he's the only man who comes with a version of a car that got stuck after he claimed the car was so nice and good and fresh and
comfortable and
they were
everything else.
loving.
And then you want to tell us that
That's why you were speeding when you were justifying the
it
speeding.
has
part.
just come back from service.
And then you come back and now you make a story. It needed a service for 2 hours. I mean, for 37 minutes. And then later on you find out actually this thing is saying I sticked here for like 5 hours. And by the way, what would have been interesting is if they say they pushed the car. Did they say they pushed the car? Where is that movement of the car testing? Remember, he said he tested the car. And
He said they did test their car, but I don't remember him being specific about pushing.
okay, not even pushing, testing the car, moving the car. Where are
Testing
those
the car.
coordinates?
Where are they? Where are they? Where are they?
And what did he say? They had a problem with the battery,
He said oil.
oil.
He said the oil was low. Well, that's when we went into the garage. Sergeant Mabena and accused Bongani Ntanzi. I contacted Brigadier Ginda to tell him we have a problem with the car. And he informed me it would be best to call Ekurhuleni Metro Police to give us back up while we were there. Back up. Well,
So
it's
the
part of Gininda and the
backup.
backup taken out before. Before it was never mentioned. It's just mentioned today.
The backup is there now
Now there's a backup.
to do the mooring. Allegedly.
Now, asked, do you admit this crucial piece of testimony? You never mentioned it in your evidence in chief, that you stopped at the garage the entire evening. And Mokhani said, if you were listening, I'm not sure if you were here or not. Yeah, Mokhani can throw shade for days. Throwing shade to Munyeki because he could see that he's not Advocate Mshalolo, obviously. And he's like, I don't know whether you were there or not at the time that I was saying this. But I have mentioned, if you were listening, I did explain we arrived in Pretoria around 3 a.m. We didn't say we were there the whole night. Munyeki then asked,
Look, he
actually,
still wants to lie, even after adding those 5 hours. Because his story was that they didn't stick there
yes,
for the whole night.
Yes.
So he still keeps to that story, not noticing that 5 hours would have actually put them to the next day.
Well, Munyeki then asked, actually, the AVL shows you left that place after midnight, 19 minutes past midnight, on the 19th of June 2020. And Mokhani said, may I refer to the AVL? That AVL is like an open book for Mokhani to copy and just do his thing. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. But he loves looking at that AVL. And he says, yes, I see it. Munyeki then said, now you concede you left there at 19 minutes past midnight. And Mokhani said, yes, that's true. So Munyeki said, this crucial evidence, you never mentioned it in your evidence in chief. The state rised and said that that's not true. He did mention it. Well, he did not.
He did not.
he?
You did not.
He did not.
After you were correcting everything, you're correcting even Ginindi today. It's not 30 June, it's 30 May. They're testifying.
We have a problem. The state raised and said that is not true. He did mention it, and Munyeki said, Sergeant Mohani, I put it to you, this piece of crucial evidence. You only testified about it when the AVL report was produced. And Mohani said, I would like to dispute it. The defense for accused 1 and 2 did not ask me about it, which is another lie. As Mohani,
you were asked to explain what happened within the 17 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you left that piece. The whole 5 hours piece, you left it out. You couldn't explain it. Mm-hmm. You talked about 37 minutes. Mm-hmm. You come back now, you're saying they did not ask you. They did ask you.
They did.
They didn't ask you specifically to say what happened in 5 hours. They said, explain the 17 hours. And you failed to explain it in full. Now you are here saying, no, they didn't ask me. You were asked. Obviously, if you go to that direction, the judge will be like, no. This person is telling you he was not asked. No. This person is telling you he was not asked. And let's leave it at that.
Well, Munyeki then said, let me again remind you, there is a question that was put to you regarding the 17 hours you spent with the accused from the 18th of June 2020. You said you were conducting other investigations, and you said the suspect would be bored, hence you drove around with him. I put it to you, that moment was your opportunity to tell this court the reason why you took so long to return to Pretoria is because you had vehicle problems. And Mohani said, I remember informing the court. No, you did not, sir. You did
talked
not.
About 37 minutes. And you said you were in Pretoria the same day.
He was trying to make Munyeki to feel like kind of antagonized somehow. But he's a professional. Like, he was very calm. He was very calm. He handled the situation well. I'm like, Mohani is a gaslighter of note. Like, he would like to make you believe his lies. The boldness to lie on the stand like that, I still don't get it. Only in South Africa, people that brave and bold to stand on the witness box with their full chests. Abanye bathi, I'll put my head on a chopping block. Hey, hi, mina ngiyasamba. Like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable because a lie is a lie. You cannot shade it. You cannot hide it. You can't. You know, this is very embarrassing. But then Munyeki said, now in your evidence in chief, you didn't tell this court it was during your re-examination and not in your evidence in chief. And Mohani said, if you recall, I mentioned when we were coming from Carltonville, we were investigating other matters. The matters that are in that confidential what? Are they? Then Munyeki said, after the stop at Engine Garage...
So that thing has been declared confidential after discussing it so much.
It's like a bait. He wants the defense to go to that thing and they're not interested. It has nothing to do with their case. Why is he insisting that they open that confidential what? And by the way, Mr. Anonymous, have you noticed that every time Mohani comes to testify, there's drama in the courtroom somehow? There is drama, man.
But this time, you can't blame Mohani.
This time is not Mohani's fault, but it's just like his energy. It's like he wherever he goes, drama follows him.
It's not drama. It's each on its own. They're protecting each other, allegedly.
Sure. Mohani said, after the stop at Engine Garage, you said Jonathan organized the mechanic. Is that still your evidence? And Mohani said, yes. How was the mechanic paid? And Mohani said, I don't know, as it's their mechanic. He said it's a state mechanic. So
Jonathan loves this job. Not only he moves from Guruleni to come here, he also brings a mechanic and pays for mechanic.
Wow. What a wow. And what did Jonathan say regarding the mechanic? I don't remember Jonathan acknowledging.
No one talked about mechanic. This
I
mechanic
don't
comes now.
remember Jonathan saying anything about a mechanic. So, ke story sa Mogani ali one.
They all have their own stories. Even the issue of 3 guys.
Yes.
Kia Mohol. Buthelezi and una 2 guys. They all have their own stories, man. At the end of the day. All of them.
This is sad. Munyeki then said even Jonathan, when he gave evidence, he never mentioned the garage incident and the fact that he had to organize a mechanic. Mogani said, I would not be able to respond on his behalf and why he didn't mention it in court. Oh my God.
What is the rule about the government cars? Can you fix them with bush mechanic?
That would have been a nice question to add, just to seal this part, just to close it. And I even heard the judge saying, what's the point with regards to the initial question of saying,
Hey, that man is
been
jump
avoiding-
when proper questions are asked.
you've been avoiding, you first told us this and now you're telling. The judge is like, no, leave it for argument. What's the purpose? What's the point?
You remember watching the case of this very same case that was done by Kininja Group.
Grecha.
Yeah. Do you remember that white woman?
Oh, I remember that white woman.
He
She
was
a
allowed
defense
to
attorney.
go deep,
She wants.
and there was no disturbance.
No one disturbed her. No.
Even though there
interference
was
from
a
the
fight with the
judge.
judge, but it was just that. It ended. It was not an issue of
They were
every.
not disturbing her in the middle of her cross-examination. And by the way, they won the trial within a trial part because it was at the end found that, it did happen. The
They
torturing
did.
and
They
the
did. I
beating.
remember we were using it here.
Yes,
They did.
they did find that those things occurred. However, they did lose the main trial. They were found guilty in the main trial. The Greja accused.
Hey, you see, if that was that woman, she would have maybe said, "So you were not here to canic that car. You were here to deal with dance, to canic dance."
Yes.
Right? Is that the term now that you are using?
The term that you are using. You were mechanicking accused number 2. And then you'd be like, no, how can you say that?
That this judge would say that, but not that one. That one will let the things unfold.
What are you saying? How can you say that? Just let lawyers be lawyers. Lawyers need to be lawyers. Okay, they need to do their job. Why are you stopping them? Why are you punching their tires? We are tired.
You disturb their cross-examination, you disturb their line of questioning,
Taking the fun out of a courtroom.
and then you want things to be done your way.
Please. Then Munyeki said, I put it to you that the incident didn't happen the way you are telling this court. And Mohani said, I don't know how to respond further, but I am standing by my word. Munyeki then said, after you left that garage, did you go straight to Pretoria North Police Station? And Mohani said, yes. That's not correct. Munyeki said, you went to Ayrton. And Mohani said, it could be correct. I do not recall where I stopped, but Ayrton is one of our offices.
Was it because you were sleepy? Was it because you were sleepy?
Maybe.
Because you didn't sleep in
Because
that
he
car.
didn't sleep, right?
Same as accused.
Well, Miyake then said, and the AVL record shows you remained there for about 30 minutes. And Mohani said, let me look at the AVL. I can see it is correct. Munyeki then said, what were you doing there with accused number 2 at midnight? Mohani said, it is one of our offices. It is possible I went to fetch documents, but I don't recall. And Munyeki asked, in your evidence in chief, this evidence was never mentioned by you. And Mohani said, I believe I testified about this. However, nobody asked me what we were doing there. Muyeki then asked, we know that you returned to Pretoria on the 19th of June 2020, and the AVL report shows that the car was switched off around 2:30 a.m. Mokhane said, may I please go through the AVL? And then after going through it, he said, yes, that's correct. It's the fact that he needs that AVL to be like, even after testifying it, how many times, how come you don't remember the sequence? Accused number 1 and accused number 2 do not have an AVL to refer to. They do not have a map to work with. They don't have anything except for their memory, but they were able to recall that I went to Bara. I saw Bara. I saw a board written 2 steel tanks, a dumping site, what looked like a dumping site, an open area. They remember. They're remembering. When you need AVL, you need to check. Why do you need to check so much? Who do we believe? I mean, who do we believe in life in general? Do you believe someone who needs every 5 seconds, or do you believe someone who says, I went through this, that, this, and this, and that, and that, with nothing to refer to? So Mnyeki then said, if we calculate the hours from 8:15 a.m. when you booked out accused number 2 on the 18th of June and come back the next day, how many hours is that? And Mokhane said he doesn't know. He's not well versed with mathematics. Mnyeki then asked, our last estimate was around 17 hours, and Mokhane said it could be correct. Mnyeki asked, somewhere in your evidence you also said whatever you were eating you gave him, and Mokhane said yes. Mnyeki asked, where's the evidence of that? And Mokhane said, I don't know what kind of evidence you want. We lost the receipts, and the food obviously doesn't stay in your intestines. 3 years has passed.
At least you know that. At least you remember that. Whoever taught you that, kudos.
Yeah, he's so rude. He's so rude, Shep. That's why I find it difficult to believe that he was nice to accused number 2. It's beyond believable. Sorry, I don't buy it. Then Mnyeki said, you expect this court to take your word for it without evidence. And Mokhane said, I believe the court will see we had humanity. Whatever we would eat, the accused would eat. Well, we don't have proof of that. Ayikho bufakazi abukho ukuthi wena whatever you would eat he would eat. There's no such proof, you know. And then Mnyeki then asked, we know accused number 2 was booked back on the 19th of June 2020 at 2:30 a.m. What time did you book him out again? And Mokhane said about 4:50 a.m. Mnyeki then asked, if I look at those times, it indicates the accused was at Pretoria North Police Station for less than 3 hours. And Mokhane said yes. Mnyeki then said, ordinarily he was in the company or in your company for 17 hours. The expectation was there. When he returned to Pretoria North, he should be able to shower. Mokhane then said, this gentleman was sleeping most of the time, and even as we were traveling with him, he didn't have a bad odor. The disrespect Mokhane has for accused number 2, it's baffling. Not only did you disrespect him throughout the arresting process and the questioning and whatnot, you come at a court of law and you disrespect him in his face. It's disrespect. You know? And then Mokhane said there is no day when he didn't eat accused number 2. Then Mnyeki asked, where on the AVL does it show you stopped and food was bought? And Mokhane said, I did say food was bought at the garage. How many times, Konje? Once. And they probably bought for themselves, in my opinion. They probably bought for themselves. And actually, that is also a part of torture. Where you where you eat and then the smell, and then you know this person is starving and you're like, they confess, just confess, you know, and You know, it could be, in my opinion. I'm not saying that that's what happened. It's just my speculation in my head. I'm like, you don't sound like a sharing is caring type of person. You sound rude and mean. Just the tone of your voice in that courtroom and what you say, these clapbacks that you're giving. You are not a kind person at all. Then Munyeki then said from Foslera's court, you went back to Moroka police station and you told this court why. Mukhani said yes. And Munyeki said in your evidence in chief, you never tendered it to court, but only after the AVL report became available. And Mukhani said, I don't recall well, but I would have made a mistake if I didn't mention it. Munyeki then asked, when you arrived in Rustenburg, where did you go? And Mukhani said, if I remember well, I don't know if we went into the police station, but we went to the accused home. So why now don't you remember whether you went to the police station or not? Because before you were very sure that when you went there for the second time, you did not go to the police station.
Amnesia.
Now you're not sure. Hyman, the lies are too much. I can't keep up. These people, how?
All of them have different stories, you know. Even as we are going to still approach Gininde, even Gininde has a different story.
Oh my God! Did you see him?
Let's continue.
Okay, let me continue. Munyeki said your evidence on the 14th of November, you said you went straight to accused number 2's residence. Then there was a tea break, okay. After this tea break, news broke out. It was trending number 1 on X. During the tea break, there was a scuffle between the prison warder and the 3 accused. That's accused number 4, 5, and 3. But then number 4 was not exactly throwing any blows. What I saw was accused number 3 in the footage that is circulating. And once I saw those blows, I was like, Hyman Bozandi Nabo.
They better come back and tell us something different.
They need to come back and tell us how they were able to
These are very same people that they talk about.
With the crutches. They need to come. Longwe needs to come back and tell us how he was able to push one of them with a firearm. Hyman, they need to be recalled. Those who have already testified, Abu Zandile, Abu Lorraine, need to come and explain to us how they were able to beat with the crutches. How they were able to scuffle. That guy could not even scuffle.
Not even an ammo can move that guy. He was going forward.
Did you see that, guys? I was like, Hyman. Now it's becoming clearer and clearer that there was no such. Like,
maybe we needed that.
Opinion,
well, in my own opinion, I believe that this was supposed to adjourn the court. This was supposed to delay further. And also, I believe that this was supposed to make these people stay out while maybe a certain somebody testifies. You know, this is my own
and
view.
provided that.
So the problem is that if they are inside, they consult with them now and then. So if they're not inside, and that makes life difficult.
Let me go take instructions.
Yes.
My Lord, may I go take instructions?
And now they're going to be taking instruction on all 4 of them, because this one that is here is in for all 4 of them. So, to me, it looks like there was something happening just so that we either adjourn and then and the timing of bringing those, what is it, was it section what how to deal with the case without the accused being present. You didn't even need to study that. You didn't even need adjournment.
What?
You just move straight to that direction.
Directly to that section of the law that is
come
particularly
on.
saying that the accused need to be kicked out.
We know Baloyi needs time. even Jonas would have to run to library and come back with useless cases. But all I'm saying is that it just didn't make sense how ready you were to actually submit as to why these people should be kicked out of court.
Yeah, ne?
It just looked like a circus. You can't, because you don't anticipate such. You don't. And not only you don't anticipate such, you have never worked in cases like that. If you have, it has been maybe a once-off thing. I doubt you have. This is my own thinking. So this is not something you'd say, this one I practice every day. No. No.
Well, the rumors that were circulating during the days that the warders who transport accused number 4, Maphisa, wanted to go down during the adjournment, but he seemingly wanted to know why, and he wanted to be left alone. So that was a rumor that I picked up, that apparently they wanted accused number 4 to go down. Go down where? It's 15-minute adjournment. Umisa guy, where is he going in a 15-minute adjournment? That is the question I have. If that in fact happened, but then they could hear screaming and shouting. That warder was for the prison that accused number 4 is from. So he's there for accused number 4 and accused number 4 only, from what I'm hearing in the streets of X. He was there for accused number 4, not the others. So this after some of the warders asked the accused to sit properly in court. And then, of course, later on, he explained that he only wanted him to sit properly. The judge was informed of the scuffle, and the accused, the legal representative, said that their clients were approached by a certain prison warder telling them to sit properly, but they wanted to stretch. And there was mention of they usually sit like that on those benches.
Oh, even people who have been arrested. I saw Menzista also talking about it. Break time is time for you to stretch. Those benches, they are not comfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
They are uncomfortable. They are not like the ones we are sitting at right now.
They are very uncomfortable.
No, they are not
those
comfortable.
Benches. They are very uncomfortable. I won't
So
lie.
why are you gonna irritate people who are already irritated because they are coming in court that is never ending? It's like playing a CD on repeat. And you, for some weird reason, you want your present to be fail now. And
all of a sudden,
and conveniently,
on year number 2
of
court
they
proceedings,
release a statement. These people who
DCS, Department of Correctional Services.
Bapapa. This is not their. Yes, their job is to look after. Is to look after this, but this is in court, and the court has taken a position. Why now do they feel that they need now to interfere and go further?
What is going on with DCS?
They are making us speculate more, man, about this case.
They should have just kept quiet and did investigations. What happened? Whatever happened
Not
to
even
the good old-fashioned investigation?
Investigate their agent. What made them conclude with this short space of time that these people are the ones that are wrong? Because their statement is seemingly suggesting to
taken aside already. They're saying that their warder is correct. Their warder is the one who was victimized. That's what that statement is alluding to. And I'm like,
Isaiah,
when did
thank
you
you
come
for
to
donation.
that conclusion? When did you come to that conclusion, Isaiah? Thank you. When did you come to that conclusion, DCS, that your person or your employee was the one who was wronged? And that comes to the conversation that we've been having, that well, they're saying that report to who exactly? When
you see
like
the position is clear
in a
against
public,
you, it's against you. This is something that happens in the public. From where we stand, investigations needs to be done. Yes, we see footages. We see people fighting. And it's not like they're fighting someone who's standing. They are both blow by blow. Do you understand?
Yes. Both
That's
of
it.
them. Even he was also fighting. I mean, why
So
not
you are
say
told
we
then to
will
report.
investigate?
You are told then to report that upon me being taken out of this court, feeling that
Correctional
OBS.
Services has condemned the unruly behavior of the accused.
Do you hear that? Does that make some sense in you?
Unruly behavior by inmates inside court shall be dealt with. The National Commissioner of the Department of Correctional Services, Mr. Makgoti Samuel Tobagale, has condemned in the strongest possible terms a scuffle inside the court where their co-accused in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial attacked a correctional official.
Attacked.
Such utter disrespect will not be tolerated, and the department is looking into the incident. Correctional officials rendering escort and
Looking
guarding
into it how?
responsibilities.
Because you have taken a position, Mos. We
Do
might as
so.
well punish as usual. Punish. That's all you clearly you are one-sided, even in your statement. What are you looking into? Punish. That's all you want. You want to punish. You want them to be out of court or something. You want the court to take this thing further. Just do what you want to do.
Wow, I'm shocked by this statement. This is absolutely shocking. Well, he said to do so on behalf of the state.
We allowed you. You are in charge. Do what you want to do.
Any form of unbecoming behavior warrants a security review so as to ensure safety of those in close proximity to the inmates. If those
Okay, now they wanna cuff them in their hands.
Yeah.
Okay, do it, man. You've been doing it.
If those escorted to court have complaints and issues to raise, they must follow and adhere to established processes
You see?
and channels
Very frustrating processes,
within
obviously.
DCS, and not resort to undermining security at the court, which will not be tolerated in any way whatsoever. Have you ever, guys, been in front of a teacher who hates you, who you know hates you and doesn't like?
Exactly.
Before you even open your mouth, you're guilty.
You're
You are
guilty.
the one who's wrong.
If someone points at you and say, someone was making noise, Emily was making noise, Emily was making noise. There is no investigation
There's no
done,
who
nothing.
is making noise.
You
There's
cannot
no
say anything.
who are you making noise with. It's about you. You are the one who's guilty.
You see, Mina, if it was me, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go more myself. Proper. Hey, they are playing Detimos. I was going to go more myself properly. And then in the morning, I come to the court. They say, no, we want to take you to hospital. I said, I want to come to the court. And then I stand there, I sit there and keep quiet. But what happened? Uvus continued with that thing. And I mean, they are playing Detimos.
No, this is sad. This is sad. You know,
What is the point of Vusi interfering with people who are not escaping, not doing anything wrong?
failure by the accused to behave themselves calls for the Department of Correctional Services to act, and it will do so without any form of hesitation, and the accused are sentenced for other offenses. Hence, the escort and guarding duties are rendered by DCS. Do you listen? Are you listening to the shadiness of the statement? It's so one-sided. It's unbelievable. Guys, what's happening at DCS? Like, what is happening? And to say that they are convicted for other crimes, accused number 1 is not convicted yet. So what is going on over there at the DCA?
We're still going.
If this is what you can do in front of Pamgwabantu, what is happening to the prisoners? Yo. So if a WADA just decides to sugela a prisoner, there's no hearing.
Mariabo, last time I was pissed off by Mshololo.
Mm-hmm.
You see why I was pissed off? She is the one who was colluding, supporting this movement of switching off the cameras when it's a break time.
Yes.
Now, what is
Now
happening?
look.
Twice, these journalists conveniently had the footage. Twice. That
Of
seemed to be
the
supporting
other
the
part.
state. Yes.
Of the other part of the blowing, we don't know, because accusations are that the water is the one who started.
Even that one of saying that they were scaring the person, the footage came with these so-called journalists.
So the hand gestures. Yes. And now I'm like, the rumor also has it that the prison warder is the one who actually went to accused number 4 and pulled him with his leg while he was wearing chains. So he was pulling him with his leg, forcing him to sit in a way that he wanted him to sit. And another issue is that why all of a sudden are you having an issue with how he sits? Because this trial has been ongoing for how long? For how long has this trial have been ongoing? That you today of all days you decide to have a problem with how they sit during break? Balance me quickly because I don't understand. It just looked like someone who had issues for no reason. In my opinion.
Everyone is chilled. Vusi has a problem.
To prove that he's the only one who had a problem, even the other warders they were like, they set this one out. They're like, no, there were only 2 of them that were helping him, and
in fact, but they were dragging him back.
They were dragging him back actually. You waze wasihlaza uwada namhlanje kanti kwenzakalani ngawe? What is going on? Stress usilethela kwabantu ababantu. Awu kahle. That was not nice to witness. So and also they played also on their weakness. I feel like they know what kind of people they are.
Obviously, they don't take shit.
Yes, which is why the people from the house need to come and explain to us, how did Longwe pass by? Now, that needs an explanation after today's footage, because this I did not see it happening the way that they've been describing all these years. I remember Tumelo saying "Angibasabi, anginisabi nonke." Tumelo. Yeah. That's all I can say. Well, the defense said that accused number 3, Ntuli, was hit on the shoulder by the guard. Advocate Mncube, after consulting with his client, said that during the break, the accused would stand and stretch themselves. Apparently, the gentleman over there would have always command them to sit as they're sitting here, as if the proceedings are on,
Imagine.
He was insisting that they sit.
So they must be treated in a manner that is inhumane.
Mm-hmm. They mustn't stretch. By the way, they were chained. Their feet are chained. So even if they were going to run away, I don't see them going very far.
You are chained.
I don't see them going very far. They are chained in their legs as they sit there. Yes. So Mncube then said he did that again, and he told them if they want to take his instruction, he will hit them. Then they said, but this is an adjournment, and he started to hit my client. He started hitting accused number 3 with a shoulder. That is the version that Mncube got. And Nxumalo also said that accused number 4 told him that the warder dragged him by the leg as he wanted to sit properly. He wanted him to sit properly, so he dragged him by the leg. That has chains. What did he expect? That to me, in my opinion, is provocation. For what reason, I don't understand. Then Munyeki accused number 5 and said that he was bumped by accused number 1 as he was pushed. Then he was surprised as to why he was being pushed. Accused number 1 and 2 were not involved in the scuffle, and the judge called the prison guard. The guard said accused number 4, Maphisa, was sitting on top of the bench, and he said he told them they cannot sit like that. He said 3 of them were howling, "Sizokshaya, we will hit you." And the prison guard said he kept telling the accused not to sit like that on top of the benches. He said the accused told him only his job is to escort them to court. He said, I approached and I was trying to pull number 4.
And Tanz was chilled in all that.
He was chilled.
It must be noted, the same Tanz who was something else He was chilled.
He was very chilled and calm. He said, I went down like this, and that is when I saw a blow coming my way. Accused 1 and 2 were not doing anything, so they were not involved in all of that. So yeah, why would he want to pull accused number 4's leg though? Like, what was the reason? I mean, you know the kind of people you are dealing with, you know the situation, and you try and provoke people that are convicted, criminals. That is strange. Well, he did demonstrations and everything, child. He was sitting on the bench explaining to the judge that this is what was happening, this is what I was doing, this is what I was telling him to do. And then I'm like, he's really fighting to prove his case. And they said, you are not under oath. But he was trying to be convincing. The judge asked everyone to maintain the court decorum and advised the accused to allow the wardens to do their job. Well, this came after I noticed something very strange. Advocate Baloyi and the judge, they quoted some law that said that the accused, if they were to be involved in a fight or something, that they should be excused from the courtroom. It seemed like they wanted them out. But then the judge was like, that cannot happen since it happened in an adjournment and I did not see it. It did not happen in the presence of the judge. Then Brigadier Ginda was going to testify without the accused being in court. Judge Ratebukhotlek said, I was told that there was a scuffle. The prison warder has his own brief about how the accused must sit. Can we behave? There's nothing wrong with the accused stretching. And then he threw shade at the EFF. I don't know how many of you guys got it. I'm like, yo, impezo kalala. The EFF do not sleep. They do not sleep no salamba. They don't want you to be speaking negative about their organization. What are you saying, Judge? He said this one of fighting like in our parliament. We don't need that. Ubuntu. Resolve issues by speaking. Okay, claiming that the security had to cover the president and stuff during that whole thing in parliament that happened earlier this year. I'm like, you. It's a no-go area, Judges stay away from politics for a reason. Okay, we will wait for the response from the CIC. The problem here is allegedly they always sit like this. It's not the first time that they sit like that. The furniture warder decided to start a fight today. So it was so weird, in my opinion. I'm like, what are you guarding? Are you guarding the benches or are you guarding accused? What is going on? So to me, the weird part was that where Baloyi was ready and waiting for the accused to be kicked out of the court. I'm like, why would you quote such a law? It was so strange. So I also found it weird that they came prepared with that law. It was very strange. And the journalist somehow captured that last part where accused number 3 was perhaps allegedly retaliating, So I was like, hey, this thing, it is looking pretty much like it was planned. Allegedly. So another thing is that Zandi and Makumaro, like I've stated before, they need to come and explain to us how were they able to be in a scuffle with people that can throw punches like that. I need that explanation, as in yesterday. I need it. So not that distraction was not enough. Nope. There was more. The court recording machines and microphones were malfunctioning, guys. There was an adjournment for a few minutes, and then the adjournment lasted up until after lunch, or the long adjournment. There was a delay to continue with the proceedings. They had to move again to another courtroom. Remember, they're moving courtrooms for the second time. The mics in the initial court they were giving them problems. And today again, the mic in the court that they had relocated to were giving them problems. And then they had to move to another court. And you heard at the end of the court proceedings, Mnisi was complaining that it's too hot in that courtroom. They are sweating so much that they could not even concentrate. It had no air conditioner. And the judge was busy talking about how ESCOM and what. Nisi was asking, why is there no backup, for the aircon and stuff? And I'm like, even Baloi was saying it's like a sauna. And I'm like, what is going on? This moving of court, and the recording not being able to... No, the court machines not being able to record 2 courtrooms so far. No, something is not right. Something is fishy there. So after the long adjournment, Munyeki continued with his cross-examination, and he asked Mokhani from Pukeng police station, you are proceeding to Primrose. I think the date was on the 20th. Do you remember what time you arrived in Primrose? Mokhani said, I don't remember. However, if I can get a look at the BPs, I will be able to remember. Munyeki then asked, the record shows that you arrived at 4:30 on the 20th. Mokhani asked to look at the OB, or the occurrence book. Asked the state for assistance with the occurrence book. Munyeki told him to look at the AVL, and Mokhani said yes. Eventually, he confirmed that he arrived at 4:30. Then Munyeki asked, I need you to help us. You booked out accused number 2 on the 19th of June 2020 at 11 minutes past 8. Mokhani did not remember where they were going. And he was told you were going to Foslera's court via Moroka police station. You only booked him back at 4:30 at Primrose. You were there with accused for about 22 hours. And Mokhani said it could be correct. Munyeki then said, when you add the 17 hours to the 18th, that's 22 hours. Of 19th, you almost at 40 hours. If you consider the previous evidence that on the 19th, accused number 2 only slept less than 3 hours. So it means in 40 hours, accused number 2 slept less than 3 hours. I am talking about decent sleep here. I'm not talking about sleeping where you were talking about where he was sleeping in the car and all that. Mokhani said he would dispute that. How can you imagine, like, in 40 hours you only sleep? We are not even going to say 3 hours because it was less than that. It was around 2 hours because they booked him in at 2:30 and then booked him out at 4:30 in the morning. So 2:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the morning. When did he bath? When did he sleep? I'm sure he didn't sleep because also you just got arrested. There's no way you can think of, they deprived him of sleep, which is very weird. It's like, what happens to you when you haven't slept for several days. I will speak on my behalf. Your head can't function properly. It doesn't function properly. I even heard with these churches, that's what they do to people, these charismatic churches that don't make sense. Not all of them, but most of them, they would like to hold prayer sessions almost every day, depriving people of sleep. They're trying to make you not be functioning properly in your head so that when they ask you for 10,000, you just give it or something, allegedly. But then without sleep, literally, you can't think properly. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. But it's not good, hey? Then Mokhani said, I would dispute that because if you look at these vehicles, they were very fancy. It's not the old ones. Mokhani. Yeah! So if they are fancy cars, he would rather sleep in that fancy car than sleep at the prison. Uzi, if you look at the Toyota Fortuner, they have leather seats and you can move the seats back to sleep. Now, I don't know whether you guys noticed, but he's speaking as if the accused was free to move the seats to begin with, because Mnyeki afterwards asked him, was he in handcuffs? And Mokhane said yes, he was, from the front. So how is he able to move car seats if he was handcuffed? To his comfort. Unless if he's gonna say, I moved them for him. This okay, fine, you moved them for him. But how do you have comfortable sleep in handcuffs? Mokhane then said, yes, he was from the front. I believe that they were the way he wanted to leave with us. He's now saying that accused number 2 wanted to leave with them. He said he was going to be bored in the cell. Do you remember? The disrespect that he's showing accused number 2. Like he's no human being in front of him. He's like just another ordinary person. Yo, Mokhane, Aishem, hi, Ngiyabasab. And he said, leave with us, and how he enjoyed himself. That vehicle was better than the sponge he was using where he was detained. Munyeki was laughing at that. It's unbelievable. I would laugh myself in situations that make me feel very uncomfortable, guys. I laugh. And I would be laughing at Mokhane also, because I can't believe this. Well, it looked like Mokhane was not done disrespecting accused number 2, because even accused number 2 looked upset as he was saying all these things, even shaking his head. Munyeki said he will leave that for argument, and then Munyeki went on to the next question, asking that Magistrate Grenier told this court one of the things accused number 2 asked her was if he can bath, change clothes, and call his family, because he never got to do those things. Any comment? And Mokhane said the late Sergeant Mabena was assisting the accused in that department. There was even a time when he ran out of toiletries and Mabena bought for him. If all else fails, let's blame the dead, right? Allegedly. Knowing very well that the dead can answer for themselves. Okay. Munyeki said he will leave that for argument because, wow. Mokhane said it is true when hotels, the court, that those things happened. Munyeki said it's very convenient, and I agree with Munyeki on this one. It's very convenient for you, Mr. Mokhane, to say that because Sergeant Mabena is late and cannot come to this court and give evidence, it's convenient for you to say that. And Mokhane said, may I answer you? I wish Ntanzi, accused number 2, can come and tell the truth. He must at least speak well of Sergeant Mabena so that he rests in peace. Because Sergeant Mabena did good things for him. Guys. They leave. Like, how is he the one bringing up Mabena and every time he can't answer questions? Put it on Mabena. And then say that accused number 2 is the one who needs to let Sergeant Mabena rest in peace. Well, he's the one who's not letting him rest in peace. There are simple questions that he was in the vicinity and the presence of Mr. Mabena while those things are happening, and he doesn't want to answer them. He would rather put the blame on Ntanzi. So Ntanzi shook his head again because the shady cameraman faced his direction immediately after Mokhane said that. And you could see he's in disagreement with the way he was shaking his head with what Mokhane was saying. So Mgomezulu stood also to ask further questions. And Mr. Mokhane, he started off by saying, on the 22nd and the 24th of June 2020, what were you driving? And Mokhane said, if I remember well, I was not driving. We were using Sergeant Mabena's car. Like I said before, whatever he won't provide, he will lay it on Sergeant Mabena, allegedly, with no shame, in my opinion. Well, Mngomezulu then said if Constable Jonathan gave evidence that they were escorting the Fortuna, that evidence, quoting from the transcripts, Moani had to actually read from those transcripts. And this is what he read, and I quote, Mr. Mngomezulu, where did you travel from there? Mr. Jonathan, from the vehicle, my lord. The suspect was in cuffs, was placed in the Fortuna of Sergeant Moani from Boksburg Magistrate Court, conducted an escort straight to Moot SAPS. So here, on the 22nd and the 24th, Moani is denying that he was using the Fortuna. But Jonathan has testified that as they were taking accused from court to Boksburg Magistrate Court, the time that he was going to make a confession, he was using a Fortuna. He was using a Fortuna, and now he's saying that he was not using a Fortuna on those days. So, which one is it? The judge reminded Mngomezulu that he said he also wanted the dockets. The judge also wanted the confidential reports from the state, asking if Mr. Mngomezulu had any questions regarding those reports, and Mr. Mngomezulu said no, he does not have any questions. So the judge asked the state if they had any re-examination, and the state said that they would already led the re-examination using the AVL evidence, so they're not going to ask any further questions. So the judge asked, is it correct that in all the OB entries conducted by you in any police station during investigation, is there any entry which says accused number 1 or 2 were assaulted by yourself annotated in the record of the OB? Well, uqalile futhi judge ngobujajarach bakhe, and he keeps asking this question. Like Moani would write as he's feeling that OB entry that today I beat Bongani Ntanzi, I chewed him, and I put a plastic bag over his, like he would write all of those. Like seriously now, even if he did do it, do you think he's going to, because the person making the OB entries was Moani himself, why would he tell on himself? Just question like I don't like these questions, you guys. I don't. They are irritating because it's one question over and over and over and over again. And what difference does it make? When the defense asks one question over and over and over again, you get upset and you're like, where are we going? What are you trying to do with this question? What is it that you're trying to do? Well, then Moani said, no, my lord, there is nowhere where they wrote that they received, they wrote that he was beaten. He even said that they wrote received without complaints and injuries. Now, how could there be such complaints when he was the one making those entries on the OB book? And if there was such a record, what would they have done about it? Would you have torn it or left it alone? Who was going to investigate that? Were you going to investigate yourself, Mr. Moani? Like, what is going on with these questions? Well, Moani concluded his testimony, and the state called the next witness, which was a police officer by the name Vishan Zing. Zing is employed in a Kurleni Metropolis Department, EMPD, and he said he was from Equestrian Department. He is a superintendent, and he has 28 years of service. Zing said, I know the previous witnesses, Constable Buthelezi, Monareng, and Lesering. They are work colleagues. And Zing also works for a unit that has since been disbanded, and that is the SWAT, Special Weapons and Tactics. From 2020 up until now, it was disbanded in 2020. So this unit opened in 2020, and 2022 it was already cut. That was quick. That was quick and fast. He worked there from the beginning as an inspector until November. He became a superintendent. He performed managerial functions. He supervised shifts. That's what he said. And Baloyi asked, are you familiar with the cold case unit? And Zing said yes. And Baloyi asked, do you know the commander of that unit, who is also the lead investigator in this matter, Brigadier Ginda? And Zing said that he has spoken to him and has met with him. So Zing, describing the EMPD and the cold case unit, he said whenever there were high-profile cases that required escorts and arrests, they would contact the SWAT unit and would assist the members from the cold case. Now with Zing, he was requested to come and testify, specifically under cross-examination that Mshololo was doing on, I think it was Buthelezi. If I'm not mistaken. Because they needed to know whether he gave authorization for his team to go there. And I think his evidence in chief confirmed that he did. But how he did it doesn't make much sense. But he did. He knew about what they were doing with the arresting of accused number 1 and number 2. He knew. He wasn't clueless about it. So Baloyi then asked, what would the process be? Would they have contacted you, or would there be direct contact with your members? And Zing said, at first, when the investigation started on this high profile case, there was communication from the higher management, which would come down to me. Thereafter, with the nature of the case and the short notice of a follow-up of investigations, the member Buthelezi would be contacted and he would inform me concerning the operation. Baloyi then asked which of your members were involved in this case, and Zing struggled to pronounce the Senzo Meyiwa case. The name Senzo Meyiwa, he was struggling. And after he was asked which high-profile case he was referring to, and Baloyi asked which of your members were involved in this assistance of this matter, and Zing said it was Buthelezi, Maphumulo, Monareng, Jonathan, and Liesering. All of them have already testified already, and they were rendering escort and protection. He said they were rendering escort and close protection. He didn't remember the dates on which the services were rendered. There were no formal agreements between EMPD and the cold case unit, so that's important. In writing, there were no formal agreements between these two departments, which are EMPD, Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department, and the cold case unit, regarding the services referred to. So Baloyi was then done with his cross-examination. Advocate Thulani Mngomezulu cross-examined the witness, and Advocate Mngomezulu for accused 1 and 2 asked about the number of members that were in the SWAT team. Zing said there were about 20. Well, it makes sense why it got disbanded. 20. SWAT. In Ekurhuleni only. 20 is too small. It's too small of a number. Then Zing said there were 2 shifts, which one shift reporting to the inspector and the other reporting to him. Zing said that because they were SWAT unit, they worked very flexible hours. Now this comes in where Jonathan couldn't answer why he left it around 2 o'clock and stuff. Well, it said that they work flexible hours. Zing said there was a time they didn't have pocketbooks because there were procurement issues, blaming the pandemic for not purchasing pocketbooks. Literally, this department got started at the year of the pandemic. The year of the pandemic was 2020. That's when this unit started. And with it starting, they never had pocketbooks. And now he wants to say that it was a procurement issue or something, to make it seem like it was a glitch or a mistake or something that doesn't usually happen. But you guys were not that old as a department. Why can't they just state it that we don't work with pocketbooks? Oh, pocketbooks were never there. Since, like, why are you speaking in riddles? Blaming the pandemic for not purchasing pocketbooks. Mngomezulu asked if not having pocketbooks produced any negative effect from carrying on with their normal duties. And Baloyi objected and asked what would be the relevance of that question. Ngomezulu responded by saying, like as we speak now, there's no reference that can be drawn from the logbooks because they were not available at the time. From 2020 to 2022, according to your evidence, there were no logbooks. So okay, he meant pocketbooks. He was making a mistake. Is that what you were saying? And Zing said, that's not my evidence. I was asked about pocketbooks. Well, okay, then he rephrased the question and asked, why did each member not have a pocketbook in this case? A member, when he is giving evidence, cannot make a reference to the event that took place on a particular day. And Zing said, unfortunately, I can't give evidence on the procurement. There were only 3 cars that they were using for that unit. 3 cars, 20 people, 3 cars. There were 3 cars. He could not assist with the registration numbers of those cars because he says he doesn't know all the registration numbers. Well, can you pull them, sir, from a database or something that you were working with? I don't understand why people don't want to give registration numbers for these cars. He also said that he could not recall the make or the models of the cars. Then Ngomezulu said, even if they were using a Golf, you cannot tell the court that they were using a Golf. So apparently there was a Golf from the EMPD there as well. Well, Zing said no, he cannot tell if there was a Golf or not because he was not present during the operations. But you said there were 3 cars. Now say, why can't you remember these 3 cars of a department that you were a superintendent on or off? Like, why can't you remember these 3 cars that you were using for 2 years? Oh my God, guys. Well then, as a superintendent from 2020 to 2022, are there any other high-profile matters besides the Senzo Meyiwa case that you assisted with? And Zing said yes. It was a Scodding Rodovan Krecha from 2020. Okay? The case that Brigadier Ginda was also a lead investigator in, and wherein the trial within a trial, it was determined that the accused were assaulted and the confessions were not used for the main trial. However, overall, they were found guilty of the crime that they committed, which had to do with illegal substances and stuff. So they are serving their terms now. So another question that was asked is your jurisdiction limited? And Zing said no. So as EMPD, Ekurhuleni Metro Police Division, SWAT Division, their jurisdiction was not limited. They could work anywhere and everywhere in South Africa. That's what he's telling us. Then Ngomezulu said, do you know the reason why the unit was disbanded? And Zing said no. I find this very hard to believe. I don't believe he doesn't know why it was disbanded. He knows. He just doesn't want to tell the nation. But we'll find out. Well, as soon as the information becomes available, we will know why you guys were disbanded. The rest of the defense counsel had no further questions for Zing, and the judge asked, do you know a sergeant or constable called Ngenawe? Well, he meant Ngamani, actually. And Zing said no. The judge said, they said sometime he was stationed at Silverton Police Station. He assaulted accused number 1. And Zing said, no, I'm from Ekurhuleni. I don't know anyone from Pretoria. Well, the state called lead investigator of this docket, Brigadier Bongani Ginda, witness number 78 on the list, the very long-awaited Brigadier Ginda, was on the stand today. Okay. Advocate Zutile Nxumalo, before they started, wanted to know whether Ginda will testify on the warning statements allegedly of some of the accused, and Baloyi said that Brigadier Ginda was going to be testifying on the voluntariness of those warning statements. And Advocate Nisi said, we are not worried about the admissibility of the statements in the trial within a trial. We want to know what is it the state wants to do. Then Baloyi said the contents of the statements are not an issue. They deny their clients made the statements and they want to know what value the state attaches to those statements. Ginda came in, was sworn in, and he testified. This is what he had to tell the nation, okay? He said, I have 30 years in SAPS. He said he's a commander of the National Cold Case Unit. He joined the police in 1994. He did basic police training. He went to do an internal security training course, trained in special weapons and explosives, computer literacy, VIP-related crimes and investigation of the case docket, as well as inquiry into dockets, crime scene management. Ginda said he worked in the following divisions. Training in 1993, he was training to become a police officer. 1994, he was in the specialized unit uniform branch after the basic training. And in 2003, he joined the anti-hijacking task team and he was a detective division unit. Excuse me. And in 2005, he joined the Brixton Vehicle Unit. In 2005, he moved to the DPCI unit at Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And in 2007, he said he moved to what is now called the Johannesburg Vehicle Theft Unit. And in 2009, he was transferred to the Vereeniging Theft Unit. In 2011, the provincial detectives in Gauteng under the provincial task team. And in 2013, he was appointed as the head of Taxi Violence Investigation Unit. In 2014, he was transferred to the National Commissioner Office. Now, 2014 is the year of the incident. It's the year that Senzo lost his life. And at this time, Brigadier Ginda was in the National Commissioner's Office. In 2016, he says, I was moved back to Gauteng, the provincial head office, provincial detectives headquarters. And in 2017, he was moved back to the national head office under the office of the National Commissioner, again as the head of the cold case unit. Now, at that time, it was a task team. So he moved in 2017 to this national cold case unit. And at that time, it was his task team. So in 2021, he was appointed as the national head of cold case unit until now. So Baloyi asked, do you know Sergeant Moani and Mogola? And Ginda said, yes, they work in my unit. Baloyi asked, you are the lead investigator in this case. And Ginda said, yes. My unit deals with cases that have gone cold, that were not successfully brought to court. Now, I hear all of this, but how come there were cases, that were not necessarily called to get the accused before the court? What were you investigating is the question I have. Was it the Senzo Meyiwa case or all of these other cases that are nitty-gritties, the illegal possession of illegal substances cases and the illegal possession of ammunition cases? Because they were not cold cases. They were opened, especially the ones with ammunition. They were opened as you guys were busy investigating. So what was happening there? Because I can't wait for the cross-examination. Because wow, a lot is happening there alone. Then Baloyi then asked, how far do you go in terms of your jurisdiction? And Ginda said national and international, as in far as our country has a mutual agreement. Baloyi asked, in this case, Ginda said, Foslera's case 63610 of 2014. It relates to the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, who was killed between 2030 and 2100. Now, this was very interesting. The fact that he mentioned the time that Senzo Meyiwa passed on, when the people that were in the house are not even sure of what time. Guys, why is he mentioning the time? Someone please tell me that. Balance me there. Like, was there a need for him to mention the time like that? Well, asked about the Tembisa case 2173 of 2019 dealing in illegal substances. By the way, Mohula did mention that those illegal substances that accused number 1 was accused of dealing in is dacha. With regard to case 217, the illegal substances case relating to accused number 1, Ginda said that it came to us because it remained unresolved. From 2019. Guys, balance me quickly. So it came to them because it was unsolved. Okay, I can get that part. But where are the original investigators of that case and that docket? Please, where are they and who are they? Because right now is putting them in disrepute that they couldn't solve this case. Yeah, so an investigation was done according to Ginda, and a warrant of arrest was issued in respect of accused number 1. So Baloy asked, how did it form part of your unit's docket? And Ginda said all the matters that have gone cold in the police system fall under the cold case unit. And this was one of those matters that was picked up when we started to look at accused number 1. It was unresolved, and then we embarked on resolving it while we were pursuing him on the matter that is before court. At the time that accused number 1 became a person of interest in this matter, we did what we call a cold case analysis, that is now the profiting of the accused, or rather the suspect. Through the cold case analysis and profiling, this particular matter of Tembisa 217 was picked up amongst the other cases in relation to accused number 1, and it was discovered that this Tembisa matter and the others were picked up were all called for some weird reason. Hence, they were drawn for further investigation. That's how we came to the issue of warrant of arrest. So far as the matter of Tembisa is concerned, it was signed around November 2019, and the arrest took place on the 30th of June 2020. But as Sergeant Mogola has referred to the date of the 30th of May 2020, yes, I beg your pardon. I think it might be my mistake. It was the 30th of May. That's correct, my lord. I think I made a mistake with 1 month. So it's 30th of May. That's correct. You know, guys, when he was saying this, he sounded very well spoken. Like, his English is proper. And I remember watching the Krecha proceedings, and I was like, this man is so calm. For all of these things that he's been accused of, he's so calm. He sounds so well spoken. Like, none of these alleged things have anything to do with him. It's so strange. Then Baloy asked, can you tell the court what happened on the date of the 30th of May 2020? Ginda said, I was informed by the surgeon that accused number 1 at the time, he was a suspect in that matter, was arrested. He was traced, found, and arrested for the offense of illegal substance dealing. He said, I was told by Sergeant Mogola. I was further informed that during the investigation, it was discovered that accused number 1 was making some form of admissions in relation to that matter that is before the court. This is giving, okay, you were looking for him for Senzo Meyiwa, but you don't arrest him for that. You arrest him for another case that you say was unsolved. And then, just as you are arresting him for this unsolved case, he just happens to tell you about the Senzo Meyiwa case. It's not giving. I need more. So the 30th of May 2020 is the day the warrant of arrest was issued in respect of accused number 1. Then Sergeant Mogola contacted him telephonically. He said he was also informed that they were proceeding to Vosloorus for further investigation. Ginda said he requested that they meet him at the Vosloorus police station because they were going to Vosloorus anyway, and the police station made sense because it was a safe place. He said he met Sergeant Mogola and the accused at the police station. He said they met at around 1900 hours on the 30th of May. They met at the police parking lot in front of the police station. Ginda said that when he met the accused in the presence of Mogola at the Vosloorus police station, Baloyi asked what was SWAT's involvement regarding matters investigated by the cold case unit. Ginda said they were providing escorts and protection at the times they would participate in the takedown operation. Okay, guys, I'm going to need you guys to call in. The lines are now open. You guys can come and share your thoughts and opinions. I need you guys to come and call in. The lines are open. Because it seems like I'm going to need to hear what you guys thought of Ginda's testimony. I need you guys to tell me what you thought of Ginda's testimony, okay? But Mr. Anonymous will take over from now. I'll be back.
Yes, guys. Here I am waiting for your calls. There's something that I just wanna share with you that just happened as I was looking at this case. I don't know if Emily got the time of sharing that part, but I'm just going to share a couple of things that are very important. I think that I picked up on that case. And yes, there are problems. Yeah, there are problems that we are currently facing, guys. There are problems that we are currently facing. One being electricity. So I've had to run as much as I could to get us the lights. And I'm sure you can see that the comments are quiet. But what I picked up is that from the previous Mogola, she pretended as if she didn't know that these people were wanted for Senzo's case. But Ginda is saying they knew, they had eyes on these people, which is surprising why she would hide that. Hence, if you remember previously, I asked the question as to why, how did they move around in terms of asking questions? How did they finally got into asking about Senzo? And then what we are gathering now is that these people knew long time ago about this Senzo case, meaning these people could allegedly have been targeted. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So they were pursuing accused number 1 already for Senzo's case. Through cold case analysis, they said profiling and something like that. Sounds sophisticated, but basically to me it sounds like this thing was already planned. How it's gonna start. Started with Tembisa case, which, in my own opinion, so far, what we have figured out, it has no merit because they didn't even continue with it. Eventually, not that they left it, but it's cold and hot. It's still there in case they need it. And then the other thing is, Ginda comes and say that how Sergeant Mogola Mohole reach accused number 1 is through a phone call. And accused number 1, and Mohole refused that part. No, he said he would never do that. He would never go and call an accused, because that would give him a chance to run away. Or I don't remember the reasons. And then I went back to listen to what he said, what she said in terms of how she got accused number 1. It was not through a phone call to accused number 1. No, not what Ginda is saying. Mohura said, I received a call to say Muzi was seen in the vicinity of Tembisa. I then contacted Buthelezi from SWAT unit. He was with Constable Siddiqui of also SWAT unit. Then we went there. There was no call to accused number 1. But Ginindi is saying there was a call to accused number 1. Which is something that could be true if you get where I'm going. They might have called accused number 2, not number 1. They might have called accused number 2, or they might have called both of them. So that would mean accused number 2 was actually telling the truth, that some Mohola person called him, promising him work, promising him all these other things. So clearly there is a call that obviously tomorrow it will be denounced. That I didn't say there was a call. There was a call, according to Gininda. And Gininda, remember, is involved in these cases because they report everything to him. That we have established, because all the problems they face, Gininda will solve those problems. Gininda solves those problems. Gininda comes with solution. So basically, there was a call. I would give Ntanze benefit of a doubt in this case, because accused number 1 now, from the head of cold case, saying no, I heard that they called accused number 1. What would have stopped them from calling accused number 2 then? What would have stopped them from calling accused number 2? So there was a call. The issue is that obviously they will denounce however they want. There was a call. So those are things that so far on my side I've picked up, that there was a telephone call to one of these accused. And one of these accused 1 or 2, accused 2 said, I was called by some sergeant, Mohole. So seemingly from Brigadier Kinindi, this Mohole is not afraid of calling people or calling these accused or calling accused, because he called accused number 1. So, well, let's hear what you guys have to say. If you do have anything to say, let us hear what you have to say. I'm just going to start by reading what was written to me or to Mzansi. Today's action, maybe it was set up, but little did they know it will prove to us that there is no way that those guys let Longwe escape. And that's how other people are viewing this thing. Mohanes sounds very arrogant and all these witnesses were rude. The question is, what makes them so comfortable to display such behavior if they are not protected? The sad thing is that the earth does not forget. Their actions will catch up with them. God hate injustice. Yes, the plan was to clear for mighty Ginindi, the way Baloyi was so quick to rid the section. How did he know he would need the law? As Difo said, Baloyi has monkey tricks. The sad thing is that he has no shame to display it while the world is watching. Our justice is captured. Hey, this person wrote, yes, the Fortuna is a fancy car with leather seats, but he forgets to mention that the fancy car reports an oil issue before it gives you a problem. Problem is people who violate other people's right, humanity, very low people with low IQ. And that is not said by me. This is said by one of our viewers. And let me come here. It's a pity those blows couldn't land on Rata. Allegedly. Not even allegedly. It's not us who are saying this. It's people who are writing to us. He might have made a huge mistake by involving the EFF. Hope they can handle the EFF since Beba Sugela. Yeah, he was throwing a low nyana, a blow nyana to EFF basically. That is how I viewed it. Hey guys, look at okay. This is not for your ears. Guys, please call. Please call if you are here, and please like the video. And if you guys do not want to call, it's okay. I know that most of you are waiting for Baloyi and Ginindi to finish. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. We're there for that. If you feel that we need to wait up to that point. Some people here, I'm just going to greet some people in case you guys don't call, and then I'm going out, obviously, because hey, this electricity, I don't even know when and what will happen. So there's like a lot of problems that are here. But if you call, obviously, I will take your calls, guys. Ginindi is here to correct all the witnesses' testimony. But it seems as if there are loopholes that are already showing in what Ginindi is also saying. Because remember, you cannot correct everything. You can correct, but you cannot correct up to a point where you basically rubbish everything that was said before. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
I say, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad.
Mm.
Actually, man, I'm calling concerning the charge.
Yeah.
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 Uchachi ubizi ufuna ukubuyisa le ndawo ukuthi abantwana bashayiwe. Yeah. Kanti yini engakayigijimise lapho? Worry yami uchachi ne worry judgment. As ne worry judge.
Worry ngayo.
Umuntu I am worried ngifuna ukutshela manje yazi ungiqeda amandla le case ngilandela each and every day and ngiyakulandela nawe Emily. But man, my worry is one man. Angazi singayimuva kanjani le judge. Hayi, lo muntu lona nohlala ngathi.
Hayi.
Uruti. Yini ukufunda lokho ngoba mhlawumbe thina sifundanga.
Hayi lutho bakhona abantu abafundile abaphansi nje impela abayithobile.
No.
Kuya ngomuntu.
Awuthilena. Awungitshela Ken ilento. Ungathi uyikati, uyigundwana. Bese uyekatini uthelinye ikati lakhupha.
Angeke.
Impossible lento. Akunamuntu ongasuka nje ayitshele linye iphuyisa ukuthi nyapuyise la ngishaya.
No way.
Manje lo chat ufuna ukuthi ukhalelwa yonto leyo ukuthi bashawa na bashawa. Waloka ufuna ukubuyisa lento leyo.
Yakazi ukuthi ulwelana no judge uyalwa ngaleyo nto ngathi uyalwa. Basically ngathi usenza ingqondo zakho ukuthi zikulindele ukuthi uzovela athi yena labantu abashawanga. Yeah. Ngathi wenzela ukuthi nijwayele. Siyabonga kakhulu.
So disappointed ngalomuntu. Yazi ngifuna ukutshela mama disappointed ngale judge. And lesikhathi bamkhetha bathi uzongena yena. I was so happy. But ngabona nange judgment yakhe isikhathi ajudge le case le ele phusela seposlora sela bula umfazi ayibona lapho ukuthi engathi ayisuka
ikhona icase onayo njalo oyaziyo
yayiphethwe uye lo rat
waboshwa lo muntu lo wayebulala umfazi okay angiyazi ke lo case mhlawumbe ngisazoyibheka right thank you Well, in short, the caller is worried about the judge, the behavior. Why is he bringing the story of how these people were actually assaulted all the time? It seems as if he keeps on replaying that story for some reasons, and in a manner that is portraying that he does not believe it. That is how he's playing the story. There's something that, unfortunately, Emil said I must hold my thoughts on when it comes to that direction. I wanted to say something, but I can't say it right now until I'm allowed to say it. In my own thinking, what I'm seeing, maybe we will find an angle to give it to you guys. It is tiring. It's an exercise because what you're seeing, it's emotional dread. It's like emotional roller coaster. You keep on changing. Today you could be fine, then tomorrow it's another thing. The judge, and most of our problems are actually caused by the judge more than the defense, and that worries people who are patiently following this case. And they want justice, correct justice, not just the justice of we are trying to close the case. The judge keeps on coming with ways to debunk what the state is saying, and that's my thought. That is what I'm viewing in that court. That it's not like you are fighting with the defense only; you are also fighting with the judge himself. The judge is here; is always gonna disturb you. Do everything that requires him to do. I don't know why he feels the need to actually intervene that much. Guys, please like the video, subscribe, share the video. I see we have 770 and we have one caller. I couldn't answer one because there was still another one on the line. But if you want to call, WhatsApp number is there, 0676190343. And then you have the other one. That says 0711537006. That one you can call. It is not a problem. It is available to you for you to call. But if you want to call through WhatsApp, then we still have that. We cater for that. So we cater for both. These numbers are only for WhatsApp and the other one is for direct calls. You cannot use them interchangeable. Maybe use it on WhatsApp or no. You use one WhatsApp and the other one you use it for direct calls. And that is how things are going to roll here. If you guys want to call, and I see that everything is well on the side of Emily, but Emily, I'm getting less calls and I'm getting more comments. It means today people are tired. Is it Monday? Was it Monday yesterday? Monday. Look, I forgot even the date. He was, yeah.
Monday and it's a lot. And I think we're all waiting at this point to see what Ginda is going to do.
Nzanzi, hello.
Oh, my way Baloye was quick to read.
Let me just switch off the volume.
Right.
Hi, Mr. Annan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Yes.
I guess Emily's gone.
No, Emily's
I'm
here.
back.
Oh, she's still here.
She was stretching.
I'm back. I needed a body break.
She must be careful with her stretchings.
Yeah.
It's not safe these days.
Yeah, she was stretching.
Yeah. No. Firstly, I think I just wanted to say, okay, I didn't get time to watch the court case today.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just catching up here. But I went on X to see the scuffle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that scuffle was meant for Rata.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I think since they couldn't get hold of him, they decided they decided to take it out on the nearest person, or Bashupai. And at when you listen to a testimony, these police that have been testifying in this trial, within a trial, and everything else that Ngomezulu has been doing. I just remembered there's a quote, Eti, if you gonna dig a grave for another person and duly so, you better dig one for yourself. And I think they are really digging their two graves, basically, for the accused and for themselves right now. Because this thing, is really falling apart. Every day I watch, every day I listen to you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Because now Ugininda is saying something else. Mohale is changing 35 minutes to 5 hours. Nje, kuning, as you guys know. Yeah, but anyway, I think I've said it before, we appreciate the time you guys give us to just catch up when we don't have time to do it during the day.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, good night.
Yeah, Konai, it is crumbling. But then interesting perspective about if you dig a grave for somebody else, then you might as well dig one for yourself as well, because it's tough.
The thing is, this case, in all honesty, should be done by now.
Yes, it
but
should.
It has this cabbage behavior. You remove one leaf. You remove one leaf, there's another one under, then you keep on removing. Zanzi, hello. Say, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not bad at all.
Okay. Listen, Mr. Anonymous, I just want to put my 2 cents thoughts on before I get to the brigadier.
Yes.
I just want to give you what vishan is. Yeah. Look, that man is lying, and this short unit was not started in 2020. It was started way before that. You remember on, I think it was Cutting Edge. No, not Cutting Edge. Special Assignment. There was an episode where there was a guy by the name of, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Veiws or something. Who was the member of that short unit. Yes, the community around Ekurhuleni was complaining about that guy with his 2 members driving a white Phantom, rating SWAT on the side of the door, and that guy was terrorizing the people around there. If they maybe say if your power is doing this and that, then these guys they go and beat up that person. So vishan is not telling the truth. And then another thing is, when it comes to the disbandment, you know it's why the unit was suspended. The reason why the unit was suspended because of those people who go around beating people up, terrorizing people, doing all sorts of wrong things to people. Then the council of Ekurhuleni, meaning the municipality, they decided to disband the unit.
Yeah.
Not that the unit was started in 2020 is lying. 2020, the unit was already there, my man. It was way before 2020. That story when special assignment book about it was before 2020.
Yeah.
I remember 2020 was the year of COVID. So he's lying. And with the cars, he's also not telling the truth. He knows the number plate of the cars. He knows the cars that they were using.
Oh, my daughter. You were coming. And then, I don't know, airtime or internet.
Information there, because Zing is saying 2020, that's when the SWAT unit was established, and then it was disbanded in 2022.
So basically, these people, they keep on lying. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like an onion. You know, you peel. You still see another layer that is similar to... Yeah, like this case, honestly speaking, it is supposed to be done by now.
It's amazing how people just lie on the stand. It's a beyond...
Yeah, but because they are robots that believes them.
Where are we? Where are we in this country?
Look at there are robots that they...
Wow.
That are flooding, those robots that people are always fighting with. You can see that thing is a robot. They even have, like, there's even robots, man, fighting. You know, it's like a proper campaign. Allegedly.
Well, let me continue while we wait for another call.
Continue.
Well, Ginda said that they were providing escorts and protection, and at times they would participate. This is after being asked what the role of EMPD was, and he said that they would take operation, what we call takedowns, and would involve arrests, but their main function was to provide security and escort duties. He read the accused all of their constitutional rights, and he quoted its Act 108 of Section 35 of 1996. Asked where was the accused at the point, and Ginda said he was inside the police vehicle. It was a red Golf. This is the part that I wanted to go to.
Where is the AVL for that red Golf?
A red Golf. While Mohula
He's talking about white one.
A white Golf 7. So which one is it? And accused number 1 said there was a red Golf that was looking and kind of spying on him before he got arrested.
And that is aligning.
And then Mokola said, no, I was using a white Golf.
Golf 7?
Golf 7. A white one, not a red one. White one. Then Ginda then said, after I introduced to the accused, I was
Mzansi, hello.
All right.
Sorry.
Hi.
Mzansi, hello.
Amen.
Yebo.
Mr. Anonymous.
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Here.
I'm here.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I got cut off, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling you about the issue of
SWAT.
Who's this guy? Vishan Singh, whatever his name is.
Yes.
Yeah.
The issue of SWAT.
Yes.
Yes. You remember there was also even a death of a 16-year-old by that SWAT team that allegedly led into.
I heard something like that allegedly. Yes.
Yeah. That happened around that time when they were busy with those things. And then number 2, there's no way as a supervisor not knowing the cars that your staff is using. That man is telling something else. There's no way. You can't tell me that you can be a taxi owner and not know the registration of your taxis. He's not being truthful, and he's evasive.
He is. So it was pointless for him to come there.
That's what, I saw the demeanor of Advocate Mncube was like, you're wasting my time. He was like, this man is wasting my time. I could tell that this one is what a waste of time.
This was Baloyi creating another layer. Allegedly.
Exactly, for what? For what? Because of that man was just
not answering nothing that he answered. My man, Vishan Singh knows why the SWAT team was disbanded. And remember, Mr. Anonymous, this is the only SWAT team that was disbanded under Ikuruleni. Yeah, in Gauteng, they still have the SWAT team. Even in Tshwane, they still have the SWAT team. So he was being evasive for nothing. And when it comes to Mr. Brigadier Ginda, you know what, my man, I'm telling you, when he entered the courtroom, I saw all the accused like zooming into him, you know, like with the eyes. I saw them like, you know, this cameraman of SABC is very naughty. I saw all of them like I wish they could get hold of him, you know. And I was like, yo, the mood in the courtroom changed. I was like, yo. But however, and I still say that man is. I remember when you played that clip of in the Rodavan Creature, that man is an eloquent speaker. But this time, because of it seems as if all the councils like were prepared for him, are prepared for him, like really on a serious note. So yeah, it's like they are prepared for him. And another issue that I just want to speak that it's about Mr. Sergeant Mokhane. That man, I think he must just leave SAPS and join comedy. He's a comedian of a serious note. I mean, who would say who sleep in a Fortuna and say it's comfortable, and you handcuffed at me? And another thing, where on earth have we seen the police buying a suspect food and toiletry? And remember that when Ntanzi who met this guy, his friend, who's that, Buthelezi?
Yes.
I think it's Buthelezi. Yeah, from Rustenburg. He said he never bathed. He didn't have money. He didn't have toiletry, and that man gave him 500. So
I'm going to judge that high. We are such a Each judge is always there to debunk everything.
You see, I'm telling you, my man. You see, if this case if this case can go otherwise, I'm going to tell you that a lot of people are gonna lose hope in the justice system of South Africa. You cannot have cops that are lying. Like, you can tell that Mokhane is lying. All those guys are lying. Even a 16-year-old or a 10-year-old, they can see these people are lying.
Yes.
Who has a cop bought toiletry for him? They take him to women PA. These cops are generous, eh?
They only take you to change Brentwood after they dealt with you properly.
I mean, my man, you can't. You take me home to change a Brentwood and to take out the flip-flops and wear Cavella. No, these cops are generous, my man. The Kininda cops are generous, my man. I'm telling you. And another thing again, when you look at the issue of this cold case, the cold case department has always been there, just that it was not called cold case unit. So Kininda sounds like this is a new thing. It was not a new thing. It has always been there. It used to fall under the task force before they restructured SAPS. And the reason why they changed that to the name cold case unit. You remember when Pegitele was appointed as a minister of police in 2018, I think.
Yeah.
In 2018. You remember Kininda, prior to working on the being cold case, he used to work in the office of the National Commissioner. So for them, it was prudent that they take Kininda to be the one who's going to be leading the cold case unit. And so cold case unit has always been there. It's just that it was falling under SAPS task force. Yes, that's my take. And again, when it comes to Mr. Who's that? Mr. Singh, Vishan.
Yes.
Vishan is acting dumb like Mohola. And the impression that they're not giving us the good impression that police officers can lie and act dumb.
Yeah. It's quite scary.
That's the impression that they're giving.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, from now on, I'm not going to take police officers serious. Well, some of them.
Yeah, some of them.
Right? Yeah, some of them. For instance, if I can say, because I was arguing with somebody on this online, on one of the pages online. I said to them that Detective Keshima Bunda is far much better than Colonel Gininda. It's just that Colonel Gininda has connections within the SAPS. It's not that he's a good detective or he's a good investigator. It's just that he has connections, he has manpower. In this case, it has been proven that this man has manpower. If he can be able to work with what you call this Ikuruleni Metropolis, if he can be able to work with them, that means the man has manpower. But he's not as best cop that we can have in. We cannot say he's the best cop that we have in South Africa. If he was the best cop, why didn't they lose the trial within a trial in the Rodovan Kresher trial? Yes, they won the main trial. At the trial within a trial, they lost it. Because of why? The same shenanigans that were happening there is the same scenario that is happening in this case of Senzo. So I don't know. I'm hoping. I don't know if the defense, they're up to the task of grilling this man. You know, because of, I think Baloyi strategically made a move by putting Gininda to be the last one to testify up when it comes to the arrest of those guys. I think it was a deliberate move so that he can try and close the loopholes that have been created by Bomukhula, by Bomukhane, and all those others, just to try and close them. But I don't know if he's going to be able to close the lives of about 10 people or whatever. How many people that testified from Borapadu to Bomboto and Mukhul? I don't know if he's going to be able to close all those lies. So it's going to be tough for him, my man. And I wish that he can even stay on the stand for weeks so that they can exhaust him.
Yeah,
they must just exhaust him. Even if they can ask, all the defense can ask one question, all of them, it's fine. They must just stay there.
They must not rush, and they must ask some of these nonsensical questions for fatigue to kick in.
So that it can be fatigued. And another thing is because of, you know what? Because of all these other guys, when they couldn't answer questions, they say, no, Buchisha Gininda.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they trust him. So I hope that the defense can just make him, you know, like what they did with who's that guy, the first cop?
Musia.
Musia. Yeah. You know, Musia got up and say, I not case here. They must just make him bad, you know. They must just make him warn him out. Warn him out, just like they were trying to do with Abontanzi by roaming around with them for 17 hours, 14 hours, just trying to warn out.
We must deal with them the same way. No, I get your strategy.
Same way.
No, I get your strategy.
Thank you very guys. Much. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you. But will Rata allow it though?
It's okay. You don't have to mind Rata saying that. What's the point of that? Does not stop you from us. What we have established. You can still continue that question and say, "My Lord, I know where I'm going." Continue, Amy.
Well, Gininda said after I was introduced to the accused, I also introduced myself by showing him my appointment card. He said the accused was in the red Golf, which was driven by Sergeant Mohola at the time. And the one Mukhola said it was white and it was a gold 7. Gininda said he spoke to accused in Zulu, and he said he is proficient in the language. Did the language from sub A to matric. His vernacular language is isiZulu, and his mom is also Zulu speaking. So he says he thinks he can speak Zulu than any Zulu person can hear. So he went through the rights. He says he gave accused number 1. And Gininda said, I then asked Surgeon Mukhola and Mabena to excuse us as I needed to interview the accused, my lord. I also told him he should feel free if was not comfortable with anything, and that he should let me know. Let me know. And he said there was nothing wrong. You know how eloquent he sounds? It's like it was so smooth and so easy. Like,
He sounds eloquent, guys. I think you were expecting him to be that eloquent.
He sound like Mukhola and stuff. No!
Yes,
He's
it's not
very
like
calm.
Mukhola. But
Very calm.
I don't think he's that eloquent. In fact, I don't think he's eloquent. I was expecting someone who's, would blow you away from speaking.
And I'm just stunned at the calmness.
But already,
situation.
2 minutes into this cross-examination, I'm already picking up flops.
Already. Well, Gininda said, I also told him that the interview was in relation to the Senzo Meyiwa case, or the Senzo Meyiwa murder. Gininda said he asked him if he had taken any medication or had been drinking, to which the accused responded in the negative. They are covering all of the gaps that were left by the previous police officer.
They've been doing that.
It's like covered.
They've been all of them.
Read
The first one.
Read the rights.
The first one is a better, for the lack of a better word, and this is my opinion, is a better liar than the first one. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then the third one, better liar than the second one.
More prepared. More prepared. Well, Gininda then said that the accused said he didn't need a lawyer. I also did not notice any sign of discomfort or panic before I started to interview him. That's what he said. I also asked him if he was intimidated, threatened to come to talk to me. He said no. I then informed him of his rights again. Let's see our caller.
Continue.
I told him that I have a reason that he was involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. He said he was comfortable in speaking to me. During my interview with him, I picked up any signs of uneasiness and panic, nor did I raise any concerns. There was an adjournment.
You mean he didn't pick up?
He didn't pick up any uneasiness or panic.
Okay.
Or he didn't raise any concerns.
Okay.
So there was an adjournment, and they were kind of complaining that that courtroom was hot. By the way, I wanted to ask you the distractions today, from the fight to the moving the courtroom. What did you think about that? And now this courtroom that they were in is too hot with no air conditioner.
It's inhumane.
It's inhumane.
Yes.
What do you think?
It's an old tactic used before 1994. Oh yeah. It's an old tactic. Obviously, we are dealing with the survivors for some weird reasons of that 1990 something.
Sure. I was like, yeah. Carry this is not supposed to proceed. This is today was not supposed to. It kept getting stuck.
Take this call. Mzansi, hello. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Anonymous. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
I've got a small question today.
Okay.
Why was it important for the wardens to actually say the way those guys were seated, the accused were seated in the court, wasn't following the decorum of the court? But they've been doing this for ages, so why was it important today?
Only Vusi can answer that question for us.
To be honest, I wasn't happy today, to be honest with you, because they've been doing this. We've seen them doing this for ages. So
Yes.
today, was it because Gininda was there?
Yeah, for me, I feel like there was that feeling that we're not ready. Could we make it tomorrow, the day before, and also remove certain people? It felt like some people needed to be kicked out.
No, but that was wrong, though. That was wrong because this has been happening for ages, and Rata as well. Of course, he's on the side of the state, not even the accused. Even if something goes wrong in terms of the state, he doesn't even say it, which is wrong. But anyway, that's my small question. And I'm not going to waste any of your time.
Thank you.
You guys are trying to get us into trouble with all these speculations. By the way, the views and opinions expressed on Mzansi Reality Court of Public Opinion are that of the viewers. And
it's what any Twitter person is thinking, is alleging in his mind. It's what that's what we're doing.
Speculations.
Mere speculations.
Nothing serious. Nothing that accuses anybody of anything. It's just
right. I think it's fair that if you are going to listen to Gininda's testimony today, you sleep early.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be thanking people for being here.
Operator.
Chuku, Anna, thank you. Patience
Chuku,
M,
Anna.
thank you. Lebza, thank you.
Lebza,
Tibuo, thank you.
Tibuo.
Nosikelo, thank you. Zinhle Winimbigo, thank you. Net, thank you. Ansuke Moyo, thank you.
Ansike Moyo.
Bokanyo, thank you. Sizwe Mkaka, thank you.
Sizwe Mkaka.
Butali. Oh,
Butali.
Butali. Yes.
Isn't it Butali?
Butali, but it's V.
Okay.
Yeah. So B. Yeah. Sebi.
Butali.
Butali. Yes. Sebi. Thank you. Langs M. Thank you. Let's see. CK Mtaunga. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mzwake. Thank you. Zwa. Thank you. Nobuhle Matenjwa, thank you. Kwelagithi, thank you. Let's see if we're not getting Nobuhle Matenjwa. Yeah, I've okay. Let's see. Right. You guys are repeating yourself here. Msizi, thank you. Ketelo, thank you.
Net.
Lebza, Net, I've Petro, thank you. Brian Stolle, thank you. Let's see. Where are you? Tandem Tempo, thank you. Let's see. Your people.
Brian Stolle.
Yes, Faith. Thank you.
Zinhle Winimbiko.
Cosmos, thank you. Adam, thank you. Martin, thank you.
Sir
Ntanta Manata, thank you.
Kwelagithi.
Yes, all that cover. That is covered.
Oh, lekalakala.
The boy, yes.
Sebi.
Mimi. Sweet dreams, thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you so much.
All of you guys that we called and did
Thank
not call. Tosis Langer, thank you. Almost forgot you because I pinned you here. Tiniso, thank you. Just Zo Sbia, thank you. Karabo, thank you. Yeah,
So
it's a lot of you guys. Please like the video, share the video, and then until tomorrow. And thank you, Isaiah. Thank you.
Thank you.
For also donating. Thank
you for your donation.
Yes.
Highly appreciated on this platform. Thank you so much. And yeah, we need an early one today because I want to listen to Ginda today. I want to listen
Dan
carefully.
Bone, thank you. I'm hoping I'm calling it right using what is that movie that those movies that I like. Forgot. I'll remember one day.
I need to listen carefully. Listen properly. I don't want to miss anything.
No, nothing. Nothing.
I'll be listening with a very sharp ear.
DD Talks, thank you. Just checking if there's someone I missed that I don't normally call out. Thank you guys, thank you. And then I can see you guys are communicating here. Thank you, all of you, thank you.
Thank you guys, thank you.
Bye.